well, that's it. We've just got water. We've just come through the lock. Met a nice lady there and had a chat. This is her boat. They're waiting to come through. Hiya. And oh, Florence, my nan's name.
Everybody seems to know a Florence.
Yeah, very old-fashioned name. Yeah.
Granddaughter's best friend.
Oh, really? We've got about a 2-hour cruise. We've got a couple of locks to do, and then we're gonna get rid of all the rubbish. Last night we were late. We were sitting watching TV. It was about 9 o'clock, no, 9:30, something like that, and we heard one almighty crash, and us and the next door boat came rushing out. First of all, I thought it was a firework, but it turned out it wasn't. It was part of a tree by us, and so God knows what it's like when a tree really does come down. The noise must be horrendous. So we decided that we wouldn't take any chances. We would just move under the bridge onto the next section of the canal. We had a nice restful night, so that was good. I think I would have been awake all night worrying in case any more had broken off. But there's no wind, so I'm assuming that the heat, if some of these trees are old, that the heat is drying them out, and then they're creaking and cracking, and then eventually they go. So it's another lovely morning. Didn't drop below 20 degrees last night, but we had a nice cool night. It was great. Moving ever closer to Narrowboat, but we're going to be stopping at Kinver for a little while. We've got Dell coming to have a look at our power system to see if there's anything we can or want to change. So he's coming to have a look at while we're there. That's Ditch Crawling Dell, Nielsen Boats. There's only a couple of people I would trust to do something, because I know they are professionals. One is Martin Horshaw on the Gloucester and Sharpness, but he's now retired. Damn shame. And there's Dell. So he's going to come and have a look, and then we'll see what we think we want to do. This canal has been absolutely fab for this heat wave, because there's such a lot of shaded areas. So what we've been doing is we've been choosing a shade that's got some sun as well, so that we can move the boat backwards and forwards into the sun and the shade as and when we need to, thinking of the dogs being cool. But those little cool vests that I call their swimmers have been an absolute godsend. I've got to get another 2. So if you see those anywhere, I had them from B&M Bargains at the end of summer last year. I think they were about £7 maybe, and we paid £1.99, and they've been worth every single penny. This canal has such beautiful views everywhere you go. It's absolutely stunning. It's quite an old building over there. I don't know what that is. The one that's flying that flag. Oh, yes it is. What's he doing there then? Because that's not his, give him a toot. That's not his mooring. So this is Nielsen Boats, Dell on Nielsen Boats. So he does know we're on our way. He could be in work at the moment. So in case you want to know what his boat looks like, you see electrics and fuel cleaning. We've not needed that, but we know loads of people that have, including friends of ours. He could be out at work.
Says open, is he? There he is, man.
There he is. to bed.
Get up, you lazy son.
I am up, I bought the dogs and everything.
What are you doing there then?
I'm chilling out. Take care.
Okay, see you later. And at the moment he's got an offer on, half price cleaning. Lovely guy. He's such a lovely guy. We've known him for a couple of years now. We've spent some time with him up on the Llangollen. He's done a lot of work on a lot of people's boats that we know. See, if we'd have said, we could have stopped behind him.
Yeah.
So we could have had a look. And what's lovely as well about this canal is there's arm core on 95% of it, which is fab. I'm in the middle of grooming Dolly and Dottie because their coat has got so thick and long. It's a long old process, so I'm trying to take them back down as far as I can before I attempt to put the clippers on, because their coats are poodle, so it's very, very tight curls, so I need to get it as short to the wood as I can to get those clippers on, and then I think I'm going to try and maintain it to that level rather than let it get so thick and long, because this happens every time and I really need to be a bit stronger myself and make sure I do what I say I'm going to do. We were sitting there last night watching in the trees the squirrels running up and down and playing. It was really nice. We've heard some big fish flopping in the water, but Mike hasn't caught any big fish. He caught a little tiddler yesterday.
Fish is a fish.
A fish is a fish, yes darling, a fish is a fish. See, everywhere you go you can look through the trees and you'll see all this beautiful land. Mike used to work on a farm when he was young, sort of like... What age were you when you started working on the farm?
Me?
Yeah.
I was 12.
About 12, yeah. From about 12 to about 17, he worked on his friend's mate's farm. Well, they treated him like a son, and he looked at them like family. So he used to, you know, help deliver the sheep and catch the sheep. He used to do all the haymaking, and in those days they did it with all the old things. But of course nowadays they got these huge machines that come and collect it all up and bale it all. And he said that it looks as if they're going to start haymaking very, very shortly.
Cutting the corn.
Oh, cutting the corn, was it?
Yeah.
Cutting the corn because of the weather. So we're just about to go through what they call Dunsley Tunnel, which to me just looks like a big bridge. We've been down this area before, so we totally know what to expect. And there's nothing coming the other way, and if they do, they'll have a shock when we get out the other end. It's quite a low tunnel. And you always do meet boats, either, you know, something's coming in a tunnel, or there's a bridge or a bend or something.
70-foot tunnel for a 70-foot boat?
Yeah, 70-foot tunnel for a 70-foot boat. So the dogs haven't actually had their walk this morning, which we do normally do, but mainly because we wanted to get cruising early this morning before it got too warm. But we'll find somewhere with a shade and they can have a run up and down, and they play together, so they get their exercise that way. Morning. Morning. When you think that these rock faces were all cut by hand to make these canals, isn't it amazing? I just can't get over that everything lasts so long that they did way back then, and they never had the machinery, and yet everything we make today, they turn around and say, oh no, that's not livable. Where we used to live, we had a big council building that had been left for years and years and years, and I don't understand why they couldn't have done something to it to put families in, instead of seeing these families in squalor. There we are. We can't change the way these people do things. Good job it's not me organising them. So we found out that there is a problem with one of the locks in Stourport, in the basin. There's a lot of locks really in the basin, but luckily it's the one that the so-called yoghurt pots use. Thank goodness it doesn't affect us, otherwise we'd be scuppered for getting in the dry dock yet again. So hopefully everything's going to go well. We did say that we might give the dock a ring and see if they've had any cancellations, because like us, we had to change our plans from May to September. Somebody might have said, look, you know, I'm on such and such a canal, I can't get there because of a closure, and it might leave a space open for us. Yeah, the water levels are down, but last year this was one of the very few canals that was not affected by the water levels. We are lucky, we're only about a 2-foot draft, so we're pretty lucky, can go anywhere type of thing. Tisha's going to laugh because I'm going to say now that the place that we're going to has got one of our most favourite pubs on the network, which is the Plough and Harrow in Kinver. It's got a fantastic atmosphere. It's a really old pub. When you go there, people are so friendly and welcoming and chat to you. And besides that, the beer and the drink is like half of what you'd pay elsewhere.
Alright, you don't tell everyone.
Oh, he said don't tell everybody. Oh, it's too late now, I've done it. Look at my doggies down there. Dolly and Dottie. Dottie makes you laugh now because the eco is on charge. So she sits there with her chin on the eco, and Dolly's laying there looking because she likes to look up and see Mummy on the back. And they won't move there for however long we decide to cruise. And then as soon as we moor up, they're like, oh, I want to go out. I'm going to go out and have a wee, have a run around. Proper boat dogs, they don't know any different. They're very happy on the boat. Am I waffling? Tell me, am I waffling?
Morning.
Kinver's a really nice little village. It's got a little bit of everything there. It's a fair-sized walk from the boat to there, but that's nice because that gives us our exercise. They were very kind to us the last time we were here. We parked in there in the pub car park, and we had a smashed windscreen, and they allowed us to keep the van there while they came out and repaired the glass. So that was really kind of them. This is one of the places we did speak about mooring. I don't know whether we will stay overnight. It'll depend on if there's any shade.
We will on the way back.
But if we don't on the way down, yeah, then we might stop on the way back because, again, you know, we live on board, so we can do what we want. We can go whenever we want. So I think that's enough.